After my secondary differentiation into an omega, I desperately tried to conceal my condition. Yet during my heat cycle, I ended up crossing paths with my arch-rival. Weakly slumped over the desk, I endured waves of scorching discomfort when icy fingers suddenly pressed against the scent gland at my nape. A familiar voice murmured near my ear, "Poor thing, it's all swollen already." Outside the school gates after classes, I leaned against the wall watching the bustling crowd while my vision suddenly blurred. Distantly, I heard someone calling my name. Jason nudged my shoulder, whispering, "Ethan, you okay?" Oliver snorted derisively nearby. "Scared already? Ethan, just admit defeat instead of putting on airs." I dug my nails into my palm, the sharp pain clearing my vision. Rolling my shoulders casually, I strode forward and clapped his shoulder. "Me? Afraid? Wasn't it you who got pinned last time until you couldn't even stand?" "You?" He slapped my hand away, face flushing. "I was careless then. I've trained non-stop since. Today's the day you eat concrete." After his dramatic exit toward the alley, I followed despite my worsening dizziness. Jason steadied me. "Seriously, Ethan, you look terrible. Let's bail." The promise of limited edition sneakers steeled my resolve. "I'm fine." Oliver waited, surrounded by spectators. I smirked. "Bringing witnesses for your humiliation? Whoever loses publicly apologizes and admits inferiority." He challenged. I beckoned him closer. When he leaned in, I whispered, "Try not to cry later." "Okay." Shoving him away, I zipped my jacket and assumed fighting stance. My bravado faltered upon spotting Liam in the crowd, towering over others with his perpetual gold-rimmed glasses. He stared disapprovingly. I guiltily averted my eyes before defiantly glaring back. His indifferent departure shouldn't have stung. Yet relief flooded me. Growing up under constant comparisons to that mannered Liam, I developed fierce resentment. Every scrape I got into somehow reached my mother. I'd always suspected his tattling. Fueled by irritation, I swiftly pinned Oliver. Leaning down, I taunted, "Don't welch on our bed. Wouldn't dream of it." He spat. As I opened my mouth to retort, my legs buckled. Fire raced through my veins as the world tilted. Oliver froze beneath me. "Quit faking. I'm the injured one here." Weightlessness suddenly enveloped me. Liam's arm encircled my waist, effortlessly lifting me upright. Through feverish haze, I glared at his annoyingly perfect features, such beauty wasted on that emotionless statue. My final conscious thought cursed his eternally blank expression before darkness claimed me. When I woke up again in the hospital, I opened my eyes to find Liam sitting beside me. Our gazes locked, and for a fleeting moment, I almost imagined he'd been watching me this whole time. "You're awake. I'll get the doctor." The physician examined me briefly before furrowing his brows, making my pulse quicken. "How many times has this occurred?" I glanced at Liam and lowered my voice. "About 3 times." Liam's brow twitched involuntarily. I nudged him with my foot. "This is private." We stared each other down until he finally turned and left. Alone in the room, I swallowed hard. "Just tell me straight, Doc. What's wrong with me? I can take it." "Very well. You're experiencing secondary differentiation." The words hit like a thunderclap. I forced a laugh. "Good one. But let's stick to plausible diagnoses." "Yeah." The doctor pocketed his pen. "I'm serious. Your heightened sensitivity requires high compatibility with an alpha's pheromones during heats. That young man who brought you here." I clapped a hand over his mouth. "Stop right there." Exiting the room agitated, I found Liam leaning against the hallway wall. He tilted his head down to meet my gaze, long lashes casting shadows. After prolonged silence, he asked, "Well, none of your business." I snatched the phone he extended. "Mom says hi." He muttered. I reassured my frantic mother through the receiver before tossing the device back. We walked in tense silence, his cedarwood scent suddenly overwhelming. I edged away, chanting mental reassurances about placebo effects. At school next morning, Jason cornered me. "You okay, Ethan? You collapsed into Liam's arms yesterday. Couldn't even wake you. Just a fever." Jason glanced around conspiratorially. You should have seen Liam's face. Dude's hands were shaking. My steps faltered. Jason bumped my shoulder. "Doesn't seem like you hate each other." Before I could respond, I spotted Liam at the corridor's end, his stare burning into Jason's arm around me. He vanished into the crowd. During gym class, alpha pheromones from sweating classmates clawed at my senses as Jason praised my three-pointer. His bergamot scent triggered unfamiliar heat. Not feeling well, I muttered, fleeing to a locked classroom. Feverish and trembling, I buried whimpers in my jacket. The door clicked open behind me. Heat radiated against my back. My breath hitched. Flustered, I emerged from the jacket and inexplicably felt relieved upon seeing Liam. Listlessly, I muttered, "Why are you here?" His cool knuckles brushed against my forehead, making me unconsciously nuzzle into his touch. Liam stiffened slightly at my movement. Realizing what I'd done, I jerked away angrily. "What you doing?" "You're burning up," he murmured, lowering his gaze. "I told you I had a fever." I snapped weakly. His unwavering stare made me squirm before he deliberately released a wisp of pheromones, a tentative probe. Our high compatibility instantly soothed the heat coursing through me, yet left my consciousness swimming in hazy warmth. His voice turned dangerously velvety. "Need my pheromones?" "Bullshit." I panted, sweat dampening my collar. "Why would I need yours?" He leaned closer until his breath ghosted over my ear, pupils swallowing all light. "You reek of it," he drawled, "like you bathe in perfume." My traitorous shivers seemed to amuse him, sweet enough to tempt saints. He wasn't wrong. The secret couldn't stay hidden forever. But some stubborn pride made me deflect. Must have gotten Mom's perfume this morning. Liam's chuckle vibrated against me as he effortlessly pulled me into his lap. Before I could protest, his fingers slipped beneath my collar, tracing the swollen gland at my nape. I jolted at the alien sensation, his cold fingertips massaging the fevered skin. "Stop." I shoved at his chest, but he merely tightened his grip. The electric jolt from his touch dissolved my resistance, leaving my palms splayed helplessly against his sternum. Tears of frustration welled up. "Get off." Unfazed, Liam studied my streaked face. Outside, boisterous student voices approached. Panic clenched my throat. "Please, not like this." Suddenly, something soft pressed against my neck, blocking the pheromone exchange. "Your gland's inflamed," he murmured, thumb brushing away a stray tear. The crinkle of pink inhibitor patch packaging made me blink. "Why do you have those?" Silence, leaning heavily against his shoulder. Curiosity overrode caution. "Got a girlfriend?" Liam methodically buttoned my shirt, sleeves swallowing my trembling hands. "Bought them for you." "That's impossible. I just presented yesterday. Smelled it when we left the hospital." His calm declaration froze me. The doctors swore my scent was negligible then. How? Memories resurfaced. The physician's offhand remark about high compatibility pairs. My cheeks burned. Liam and me? His fingers lingered at my collar. "Need help walking?" I jerked away, pulse racing. "Don't touch me." Liam simply opened his palm, revealing more inhibitor patches. "Your choice." The unspoken hung between us. This temporary fix wouldn't last. Not with our matching DNA singing through every cell. After a long while, when we'd both recovered, Ethan Thompson and I headed toward the classroom. Wait, I tilted my head to look at him. "I definitely locked that door earlier." "How did you get in?" He kept staring straight ahead, his tone cryptic. Trade secret. Getting no real answer. I huffed and marched forward without him. His voice trailed behind me. You're not planning to tell your mom, are you? My steps faltered for half a heartbeat. Of course I am. Then why haven't you told her yet? His footsteps caught up as he fell into stride beside me. If you told Mrs. Thompson yesterday, she'd have stocked up on suppressant patches for you already. My shoulders slumped in defeat. Damn Liam and his annoying perceptiveness. I turned away to press my forehead against the sun-warmed hallway bricks, stubbornly staring at the blazing afternoon light until my eyes watered. The truth was, I hadn't told anyone, not Mom, not friends, nobody. Every additional person who knew increased the risk of Mom finding out. My earliest memory was Dad whispering to me when Mom stepped out of the hospital room, his skeletal hand trembling against my hair. You'll protect Mommy for me now, won't you, champ? I barely remembered his face anymore. Just the way Mom's embrace tightened around me at the funeral, sheltering me so completely from life's storms that I never even noticed our family was incomplete. That's why I'd thrown 7-year-old tantrums until Mom enrolled me in kickboxing classes. Why I still trained 3 times a week. Why I couldn't let her know about this biological betrayal. If she found out about the secondary differentiation, she'd wrap me in cotton wool again. The sunlight burned crimson through my eyelids. Warm palms suddenly covered my eyes. You'll damage your retinas like that, Leah murmured. I didn't move, the words escaping before I could rethink them. Keep my secret, just for now. Silence stretched. My eyelashes fluttered nervously against his palms. Then, quiet but firm, okay. True to his word, Liam became my unexpected accomplice. He intercepted curious glances in the locker room, casually blocked wandering noses during gym class, even started carrying emergency scent neutralizers, which made Oliver cornering me after school particularly inconvenient. Wivy, you've been skipping practice. The basketball team captain loomed with his usual entourage, their mingled pheromones making my skin prickle. I shoved past them. None of your business. Wait. Oliver's face flushed as he thrust a shoebox at me. The limited edition Jordans I'd won off him last month gleamed inside. Told you I'd pay up. My irritation softened. Thanks, Ollie. His Adam's apple bobbed at the nickname. But the cloying mix of adolescent hormones was becoming unbearable until Oliver suddenly grabbed my wrist. Nostrils flaring. Ethan, since when do you smell like vanilla? Ice flooded my veins. What? Oliver leaned in and sniffed twice. You smell nice. Did you always have this scent? How come I never noticed before? People around us turned to look, curiosity evident about the source of this fragrance. The warmth from where Oliver gripped my arm intensified, my nervousness making the swelling sensation at the back of my neck more pronounced. I shook off Oliver's hand, swallowing hard. You're imagining things. No, there's definitely something. He frowned, moving closer as I stepped back. My shoulders bumped against the solid chest, steady hands catching me. I glanced up to see Liam. Liam kept one hand casually draped over my neck, his expression cool. It's cologne. I blinked in confusion. Oliver froze mid-step when he saw Liam. What? Liam repeated slowly, locking eyes with Oliver. That's my cologne. Ethan's testing it for me. Oliver gaped. He's testing your cologne. You two. We grew up together. Currently share a place too. Any other questions? My lips parted to protest, but the technical truth of his words left me speechless. Liam always wore his uniform meticulously buttoned, his gaze frosty enough to make even Oliver's usual bravado falter. No problem. Move aside, then. Liam took the box from me, his palm still covering the heated skin of my neck. As we walked, he murmured, feeling unwell again. The unusual gentleness in his tone made me squirm. I pushed at his chest. He paused before straightening. though his attention never wavered from me. When rowdy classmates nearly bumped into us, his arm tightened protectively, stumbling against his warmth. I felt my face flush. "What's wrong?" he asked. Suddenly, I realized the implication. I smacked his arm. "Why do you make it sound like we're living together? Aren't we? As neighbors. You need to clarify that." His lips twitched. "Wouldn't that seem forced?" I huffed. "If this ruins my dating life, you're paying compensation." "Gladly." His easy agreement irritated me more. As I tried to pull away, he reeled me back. "Hospital. No, you're overheating." I grumbled but stopped resisting. Oliver remained rooted, watching Liam guide Ethan away. Liam, the untouchable ice prince who tolerated no one in his personal space, now allowed Ethan to shove at him without protest. From this distance, Oliver could make out Ethan's annoyed gestures and Liam's patient tilt of head, a guardian absorbing every complaint. His arms slung possessively over Ethan's shoulders as they disappeared into the crowd. Ethan had a fiery temper, and once riled up, no one could calm him down. Oliver clearly saw Ethan's impatience to leave, yet after Liam murmured something in his ear, Ethan reluctantly reined in his irritation. Though still scowling, he leaned into Liam's embrace, allowing himself to be guided forward. When someone nearby called out twice, Oliver jolted awake from his trance, realizing he'd been staring too long. With a self-deprecating laugh, he turned and led his entourage away. "What did you say?" I shot up from my chair, nearly knocking it over. The doctor repeated calmly, "Your secondary differentiation has made you hypersensitive. You need regular sessions with a highly compatible alpha, twice weekly induced heat cycles followed by calming procedures. Essentially desensitization therapy." "How high of compatibility?" 80% or above. Liam sat quietly beside me, appearing indifferent to our conversation. "Take your time deciding. Bring your candidate for testing when ready." The doctor left us facing each other across the suddenly claustrophobic examination room. After prolonged silence, I scrolled through my contacts with deliberate slowness. Jason might work. His pheromones were pleasant when I smelled them before. Liam's tone turned arctic. "Oh, the same buddy who constantly praises your looks." His words conjured images of my vulnerable state during heat cycles. The thought of Jason witnessing that made me shudder. "How about Nathan Ching? We went to school together. His place is across town. Want to drag yourself there mid-cycle?" Oliver then. Annoying but decent looking. Oliver's entourage would have you trending on social media by dawn. After exhausting all options, I flopped onto the clinic's miniature couch. Someone who's seen me vulnerable, lives nearby, and isn't surrounded by lackeys. My eyes widened as realization struck. Liam sat statue, still under the fluorescent lights, sharp features accentuated by the glare. I sprang up to crouch before him. "Would you help me?" He toyed with his shirt hem, gaze fixed on my hand gripping his knee. My study schedule leaves little free time. I playfully grabbed his fingers. "I'll study with you. You can tutor me. Weren't you the one who vowed never to enter my bedroom? Ancient history. You're still holding grudges? So you're willing now." I nodded frantically. Liam rose, looking down at me. "Stop dawdling. Let's test compatibility." To my surprise, Mom readily approved my study sessions at Liam's house. She probably thought I'd finally embraced academics. That evening, I stormed into the Adams residence, forcing cheerfulness through gritted teeth as I greeted Mr. and Mrs. Adams, bursting into Liam's bedroom. I pinned him against his desk. "What witchcraft did you use on my mother?" Liam relaxed into my grip. "She clearly favors you." "Liar." I released him with a huff, collapsing into a chair. "Everyone adores you, parents, teachers." As summer heat thickened the air, Liam threw open the windows. Sunlight bathed the room as he murmured, "Not everyone." too quietly for me to catch. He slid a textbook toward me. Start with these problems. I groaned, spinning my pen. Why the formality? This tutoring's just our cover story anyway. He looked serious. Ethan, you need to focus on your studies. Being addressed by my first name made me jolt upright. Why so formal? His gaze remained steady. Didn't you want to get into Stanford? What? You mentioned it before. My breath caught. That childhood dream had faded after years of maintaining B-plus averages. But now he dragged it back into the light. I shrugged with practiced nonchalance. Too late for that now. Liam set down his pen. It's not. If you're serious, I'll tutor you starting today. The intensity in his eyes made my pulse skip. True to his word, Liam became my relentless study partner. He compiled binders of materials, monitored my practice tests, and maintained strict adherence to the therapist's protocol, administering exposure therapy twice weekly without fail. That evening after drills, the familiar click of his bedroom lock echoed. I sat on the edge of his bed, fingers twisting in the comforter as my body betrayed me with tremors. Hurry up already. His approach was measured, releasing faint pheromones. Any discomfort? The familiar scent of winter bloom wrapped around me, drawing an involuntary moan. His chuckle vibrated against my ear. Guess not. Want to make it easier? I nodded into his shoulder, melting into the embrace that somehow never felt close enough. When his fingers brushed my bonding gland, electric shivers raced down my spine. Tears welled as I clutched his sweater, our synchronized breathing fogging the space between us. He thumbed away a tear track. Just adjusting, he murmured as I instinctively grabbed his collar during his slight movement. Heat flooded my cheeks when his chest shook with suppressed laughter. The treatment's bred dependency. We became inseparable, my cravings extending beyond therapy sessions. During calculus, I'd find myself reaching for his hand under the desk, seeking comfort through casual contact. At lunch break, Jason leaned across my notebook. What's going on with you two? Who? I played dumb, glancing at Liam, who'd strategically claimed the adjacent seat after convincing our advisor it would improve academic performance. He mimed an exaggerated stack of papers. My mom's making him babysit my studies. 3 hours of drills nightly. Damn, Ethan. Jason squeezed my shoulder sympathetically. Hang in there. I waited until he left before sliding my hand into Liam's waiting grasp under the desk. His thumb circled my palm with practiced ease. The classroom fading around us. No one could guess the hidden intimacy beneath our surface-level interactions, the secret language of intertwined fingers and shared warmth that sustained me through every lecture. The phone felt like an extension of my hand, a secret thrill coursing through me, propping my head up with one hand. I stared unblinking until sunlight caught his turned face, that warm smile freezing my heartbeat before it galloped. My exposure therapy sessions with Liam lasted right up until college entrance exams. That day, he'd pulled me close, methodically calming every nerve until I swore I'd survive testing season. His hand ruffled my hair. You've got this. Nail it. I looked away, swatting his arm. Obviously. In the exam hall, my pencil hovered over the answer sheet as Liam's face materialized. He'd mentioned attending state if I bombed this. We'd be separated. Wait, since when did I care? I just wanted stayed. Shaking him from my thoughts, I dove into the questions. Post-exam, I spotted Mom waving outside. Grinning, I sprinted over. Let's eat, she said, handing me water. Home smelled of her signature stew. Fidgeting at the table, I blurted, Mom, I spit it out already. I presented as Omega. She barely glanced up. So, join the club. But her ladle clinked against the pot. Don't think secondary gender changes anything. You're still my kid who takes out trash on Tuesdays. Relief flooded me. Yes, ma'am. That night, I called Liam from bed. She took it fine. Told you. His chuckle warned the receiver. Hanging up, I bounced across the mattress shadowboxing until heat slammed through me. Collapsing, I fumbled for my phone. The crash brought Mom running. Inhibitor trembling in her grip. Mom, relax. It's just. A tear hit my wrist. Her composure shattered. I smelled the change weeks ago. Liam explained everything, how you feared seeming fragile. Her breath hitched. My baby. The inhibitor failed as fever spiked. Mom's panic mirrored mine. Call Liam, she urged. He'll know. The last rational thought dissolved Liam's scent. His steady hands. The unspoken promise in every touch. My fingers dialed on their own. The call had barely ended when Liam burst into the room. His skin chilled from the night air. After hurriedly greeting my mother, he pulled me into his embrace. The door clicked shut as he held me steady in the dim room, the scent of winter-sweet pheromones thickening around us. My body still trembled slightly. I clenched my fists at my sides. Liam, weren't you showering? How'd you get here so fast? Your distress call scared me. Couldn't risk being late. His arms tightened around me. Would you treat someone else like this someday? Don't know. My eyes burned. What do you mean, don't know? He sensed my rising emotion. Fingers gently massaging my palm. Don't know if we'll work out. Don't know if you'll accept my feelings. Don't know if you could ever love me back. That's why. My hands shook violently. You never confessed. What if I do now? His voice cracked. I love you. Sweetheart, will you be mine? The childhood nickname, one only my late father used, made my eyes prickle. I blinked hard. Okay. His entire frame trembled against me. So we're together now. Can I kiss you? You're insufferable. His lips brushed my forehead before I realized I'd closed my eyes. Liam, I huffed. Yes. Love? What if I don't get into Stanford? Then I'll follow you wherever you go. But Stanford's your dream. You've always said, my dream is you. His rough whisper silenced me. You're my destination. Epilogue. The exposure therapy proved ineffective. Ultimately, Ethan's condition was cured through Liam's bonding mark, though not without complications. Initial medical checks revealed Liam's hormone levels needed adjustment, leading to months of intensive treatments. He became a fixture at the clinic until finally receiving clearance. On the day of his full recovery, Liam pinned Ethan beneath him with clumsy determination. Does this hurt? No. How about? Just do it already. Ethan snapped through gritted teeth. Ethan never fully embraced his secondary dynamic. During weekend brunches, he'd often grumble. Before the hormonal shift, I could have taken 10 of you barehanded. Of course. Darling, Liam would soothe, pouring more orange juice. You're still terrifying. Years later, while researching on Liam's laptop, Ethan stumbled upon ancient search history. Are alpha-alpha relationships legally recognized? Can dominant secondary genders develop recessive traits? Sunlight streamed through their Palo Alto kitchen as Liam caught his husband smiling at the screen. Find something interesting. Just appreciating your teenage desperation. Ethan clicked shut the device with a smirk. Can gland surgery turn someone into an omega? If the glands get damaged, can that make someone an omega? These kinds of questions made my blood run cold. Ethan suddenly remembered the doctor mentioning gland damage during my checkup. I'd been half conscious then, mistakenly thinking the diagnosis was about myself. It turned out to be Liam all along. A chill ran down my spine as I wondered when exactly Liam had fallen for me. When this dangerous idea had taken root, that someone would consider physically altering their own glands to become an omega. I looked up at Liam, who remained completely unaware of what I had discovered, simply smiling at me with that usual gentle expression. For the first time, I felt genuine relief about my secondary differentiation. Thank God. I repeated to myself. Thank God my body had undergone that biological transformation.